Open loops are stealing your bandwidth. Now, the first thing I'm going to have to explain is bandwidth. I don't think most people know. A lot of gamers on here, especially PC gamers, I'm sure you'll understand. But bandwidth is basically the amount of computing power your system has. So let's say it's running one task. It's got a lot of bandwidth left. Like if you're just pulling up YouTube on your phone, or you're just making, I don't know, you got PowerPoint or Photoshop open and that's the only app open. That leaves it with a lot of bandwidth, and that ensures that the program is running smooth. That ensures the program is not lagging behind. You don't click on something and it takes like 5 seconds to actually hit the button and move to a different screen. You're essentially giving your computer a break in terms of what it's thinking about. And our brains are the exact same way. Let's say you have a doctor's appointment and you haven't written it down yet. And you also have to hit a workout, and you're not on a consistent schedule for your workout. You don't go every single time at the same time every single day. You don't go. And let's say, your girlfriend or your wife calls you and goes, "Hey, I need you to make dinner. I'm just way too tired. Can you just whip something up, think of something? I can't stand it. I've been working fucking 12-hour shifts because you can't retire me, and I can't. I need you to cook for me tonight." You see all that? First off, you see all those decisions you gotta make? You see all those moments where you gotta go, okay, I need to squeeze the gym in here because I have work here and I'm doing this there, and I planned a thing with my friend here. You overload your brain. It's basically the equivalent of having 6 different programs open. If you have Photoshop and YouTube and Spotify and an internet browser all running at the same time, and the internet browser has 6 different tabs, your computer is going to run slower. The reason you are lazy, it's not because you're just inherently a slothful person most of the time. It's because your brain is fucking overloaded. Your brain is overloaded, and video games contribute to this too. I love video games. I love them as an art form. But they have so many open loops. They got so many, especially those online live service kinds of games. Helldivers. Used to play the fuck out of that all the time. When you're anticipating the next war bond or whatever, oh shit, the minigun's coming out, the stealth war bond, we've been waiting for so long, oh my god. That's an open loop. That's a program in your mind that is running that really doesn't need to be running. And this is why video games are so insidious, is because they seem to be alright, but they steal bandwidth. They steal your thoughts, especially if you're like me and if you go into a bad video game phase of your life, you just think about it all the time, and it's always on your mind, and you're like, oh shit, the S-class starship or whatever the fuck, right? It's a program running in your mind. You gotta save your bandwidth. You have too many open loops. Another really good example of open loops that's a little less obvious is decisions. If you have a ton of decisions you have not made yet, you have open loops. If you gotta decide what's for dinner and you can't come up with an idea right now, and you're not gonna decide right here, right now, and tell her and make sure, yes, that's cool, then you're going to have an open loop. Most decisions you want to make quickly. and adjust as you go. If there's a problem with the decision you made in the quick moment you decided on it, then 90% of decisions are fixable. It's up to you to recognize that. Most decisions are fixable, reversible. There's no real time limit. There's no one's forcing you to stick with one thing. So there's nothing really bad about just making the choice right there. It's way more advantageous to just boom, make a choice. Where are we going? What are we doing now? Because you don't want the open loop in your head. You don't want the background task to be taking your energy away from the task at hand. If you don't write things down on a calendar, you have a fuck ton of open loops in your head. You could have so much more brain power to dedicate to what's important in your life if you just wrote shit down on a calendar. Have a to-do list. Take things and take the burden off of your mind. Put it on a piece of paper that you look at every day, so your brain doesn't have to remember it. It doesn't have to spend the bandwidth to keep it in your head and to remind you every 5 seconds. Oh, I gotta go get the ingredients for Ma. Oh, I gotta do my homework. Oh, I need to schedule. It's been one of the hardest things in my life to schedule myself perfectly. I know I can do it. I'm a perfectionist at heart. I know I can have a razor sharp schedule. And I'll keep you posted on it, It's not perfect right now. I have plenty of background tasks going on at the moment. But I've seen this principle in action. This is why every man has that phase of their life where it's literally just eat, work, gym, repeat. Maybe gaming's out of the equation. Those are the real hardcore fuckers. Just eat, sleep, gym, repeat. They don't have all their bandwidth being taken up, these people. The people who are just locked in on that monk mode, the people who just cut any unnecessary fat out of their lives, and they just get right down to the precise thing they need to do to be the person they want to be. They got plenty of bandwidth to spare. They have all the energy to spend on this thing. And they just go at it and go at it and go at it. And they make the most progress of their life. They make the most gains. They have the most productivity out of any period of their life and out of any period of any of their peers' lives. This is the really hard part of this, okay? This is the really difficult part of this principle. A lot of your friends are open loops. A lot of your friends. If you have friends who are flaky, if you have friends who take fucking forever to make decisions, if you have friends who you just can't really understand, if they're vague, if they're on your mind all the time because they're so fucking weird, then you probably shouldn't have them. If you're thinking about them all the time because they're just a bag of problems and there's no resolution in sight, you gotta drop them. This is the part that is really hard for everyone, including me. I'm a fucking introvert. I'm a socially awkward autist, and this is still really hard for me. I've made some good friends, but a lot of those good friends, a lot of them just aren't on this path. And it's a heartbreaker to have to let them go. But if you actually want to make a massive amount of progress in what you do, you gotta let them go. They're an open loop, and you gotta close it. And that decision has probably been sitting in your mind this whole time. Holy shit, I have this, I want to be in the best shape of my life, but I have all these friends who drink and eat junk food all day. And they will peer pressure me, you know? Like if I just stop drinking, they're going to go, "Oh, come on, have a drink." They don't deserve to be in your life. You got to get out of your feelings and get objective with it. They are pushing a boundary, a very important boundary, which is what you consume. Don't make friends with people who consume bullshit. Because you're going to be someone who consumes bullshit. That's just the way it works. It's real important to close your loops, I'm telling you. It's a tough principle to remember, but it's a surefire way to get yourself firing on all the cylinders, every single one. Imagine being just 10% better than you are now. Your whole fucking life would change. And when it comes to open loops, when it comes to all this stuff I'm talking about, it gives you 25% better. It gives you possibly 30. For some people, their whole fucking life gets better once they drop the open loops. Because they have so many. The news. Fucking news. Yeah, it's important to keep up with current events. If you feel like you're living in a fascist dictatorship or you're something dangerous is going to happen in your country soon, it's important to keep on current events, but you also got to remember, the media does not have your best interest in mind. The media wants to keep you hooked to the TV. It wants to keep you looking and fearing and just following a story endlessly, because that's what gets the money. That's what pays them. That's what gives them the biggest advantage. And guess what that is? It's another open loop. There's going to be no closure. You're going to die before the news does, most likely. So there's going to be no closure. There will always be a new headline. There will always be a new bad guy. There will always be a new, holy shit, what did Trump do this time? What did fucking J.D. Vance do this time? What did the new governor of New York do this time? What did ICE do this time? What did the Democrat... Everyone gets so caught up in it. And yes, it's important to keep your ear to the ground. It's important to realize when the cave is fucking collapsing on itself and to get the fuck out of there, obviously. You gotta keep a very disciplined distance if you're gonna participate. I naturally just get repulsed by political news. I mean, there are periods of my life where I'm really into it, and I think about Democrats and Republicans and how that's not even like the American version of that isn't even close to what actual right and left actually is. Most people think it's like, oh, we're full of Marxists, we're full of whatever. And we are. There's a lot there. But when it comes to the actual political parties that is televised in this country, there's, I'm getting off topic. An open loop. You need to eliminate the open loops. That's just all you need to get from this video. Okay? Now get the fuck off and do something productive. Bye.